Hi, as much as I love all of you so incredibly much, and I'm completely understandable if people start getting mad, you can not posting videos or updates or things about me whatsoever, really. Even though this is really a pure thing of connection and I make no money. Um, I am really focused on stuff that I am teaching myself for future projects. Maybe multiple projects if I like it. Um, and so I can't really be filming stuff constantly. Um, so I guess I could give y'all a little update about my life. Um, I have isolated myself from all outside contact of people. So, the only people I'm really talking to is my family right now, which we know I have a history of doing this, so I'm safe. I'm fine. I'm not fine. I feel like I have no purpose in this world and I'm not good at anything. I'm okay at a lot of things. I'm not good at anything. And I'm kind of losing my shit. But it is giving me a lot of room to reflect on my own emotions, which will hopefully go into something that will be fun for all of you to experience. I'm trying to find words. But while I have you all, I'm gonna give you all like updates about my life. I got a shit ton of crowns recently, which will be helpful. And I started melting a bunch of the broken ones already. Like, just in general with the heat from the sun, because I live in the south and it's very, very hot. And I started melting a fuck ton of them already. And, like, I have my organization of my crowns and all my jars and stuff. And so we are, well, I am like taking a lot of crowns and like melting them down in the heat, new and old, because we're cutting a lot of the new ones with my old crowns, just in general. Not necessarily because like oh my god, but like because I just happen to have a lot of old crowns that are like black and brown and stuff, and they are a chalkier texture and have faded to this like grayish hue from how many times I've melted them down. Because fun fact, crowns can't compost or be disposed of safely, really, unless they're remelted down and used in a sense of like art. How cute is that? That's one of my shirts. It's in the closet. I love that shirt. It's a children's shirt with like built-in sleeves, and I cut it forever ago because I grew up and I got an ass and it went thin. But I love that shirt. Let's. My cat's at the door. But yeah, and like I'm collecting a lot of jars. Ooh, I need to update y'all on my tomatoes. My tomatoes are doing really well, and I also need to show you a shit ton of my corn. I also have plans for the silks of the corn, and like because in my state it's illegal to grow hemp, and I want to grow it, but I'm not allowed because then I'd get in a lot of trouble, and I'm trying not to do that. And so I'm gonna can a bunch of like the corn after I like heat treat it and stuff, and I like shuck it. I'm gonna can them because I eat a lot of corn because I don't really eat a lot of meat, and I happen to really like it as a starch, just because I also don't really eat sweets. And so I'm gonna spiral the silks, and I'll make a video when that happens because I'll probably have to start harvesting in like a month and a half or so, because I'm ahead schedule. I'm ahead schedule of the corn farmers. How funny is that? I didn't even mean to do that. I think it's funny. But I also, here's it. For my birthday, oh, here it is. I got a spinny spindle. Yeah, spindle. And so I might grow cotton as well, just to like have that type of fiber on hand to like spindle it. But yeah, this is my second ball worth. My one of my cats is not a fan, and the other one is a little scared. I think because it's like metal, not metal, it's like wood and it's heavy and it confuses them. But yeah, so I've been doing this and I've been melting down a fuck ton of crowns. But I also just, because I got 3 bags worth of crowns. Let me get into my crown box. Okay, so we remember how brown and gray and empty it was, right? Because I've shown y'all before. It also says crowns, but it's not spelled like the actual word crowns. It's spelled crowns as in hats. To anyone that's unaware or new, I don't have a name for it, but I coined, I guess, like, a thing of, like, animation. I don't think I, like, actually coined it, but I've never seen other people really do it. I'm sure, like, Tex Avery or someone at some point was, like, doing it and stopped doing it because it's tedious. But I've been, like, experimenting with this idea of animation by hand. Like, a paper, and then instead of there being, like, a colored cell and a separate cell and, like, a moving cell, they're all in the same thing, like a painting. And then it's a little different each thing. And spiral notebooks, great for that, by the way. Spiral and composition notebooks are great for it. And if you have gone to school ever, you probably have a lot of, like, half used. I highly recommend you try doing that. And crowns are also very fun for that. I personally really love crowns a lot. And I love melting them down into bigger crowns. Just because I have, my hands are small, but they're, like, this motion isn't good for your hands, okay? Like, your hand being, like, all cramped up and tight like this isn't good for them. And everything I do involves my hands being all tight, and so that's not great for your dexterity over time. Dexterity, your hands' movements. And so I personally really like to melt them down into bigger crowns, but I have a fuck ton of, like, really old crowns. Look at that logo. And just, like, crowns I've never heard of. Like, I had no clue that the brand, like, Rose Art was a thing. I had to ask my mom. Because she's Google. And I just didn't know. Also, one of these days I will do a video of a bunch of stuff I asked my mom in, like, a week or 2 week span. I just need to remember to write things down during the week. Which I never do. So, ooh, that's a weird color. Oh, it's like a brown, like, gray color. Ooh. Oh, I do like that. We're going to use that one up so I can melt it back down to a bigger crown. But yeah, like, I make a lot of stuff with crowns, and this will probably be, like, half gone by Christmas. So that's fun. But the fun thing about crowns is you can always melt more of them down into a crown, and you can melt them down into a specific color that you need. So let's say you're doing, like, a self-portrait, and crowns for some reason doesn't make, like, your exact, like, tone. You can take a bunch of, like, other tones and kind of, like, melt them down with, like, a white or a brown or something, and just kind of, like, for example, like, I've done that. I've done a lot of things, actually. And I've made a lot of, like, crowns and stuff over the years, and just, like, so, ooh, that's, like, a gray. That's pretty. It's, like, a gray-black. That's a great example of the blacks just becoming kind of, like, gray and weird over time. But, yeah. Oh, let me show you my bowl of, this is a bunch of yarn. It's not the best in the world, I know. But I don't have proper carding tools, and I don't have, like, stuff to be, like, flax and, like, cut it with at all right now. I probably will when I have silk. So you can't judge me too hard, okay? I'm trying my best. And I think I did really good. It's definitely not a consistent thing, but this was, like, my first. It's just a bunch of like little scraps from over the years of like making shit like that. And I think it's really pretty. I think it's a great reflection of my room. Anyway, that's all for this video this week. It's being uploaded quite late, honestly. I love you all. Be good people, do good things. Be a creative individual, especially in this sort of world right now. If you have crowns and they're broken in your house, because you probably do, because all people eventually have crowns of some sort. Like, crowns are one of those things that, like, you just get even if, like, you're, like, really poor. It's a very odd monopoly that, like, places like Crayola and Crazy Art and stuff have on the human race. He's like, even if you're, like, really poor, you go to school and stuff, and you end up with crowns. It's a very odd thing. I highly suggest putting them in, like, a muffin tin or something metal. I have silicone mold right now, but I have cut up a can and folded over a bunch of the edges into, like a boat. That looks like I'm rolling shit. Not. But, like, into, like, a boat with the folds. So I highly suggest, especially while the heat is so, like, hot still. Like, I think personally, we're technically, or I would consider us on a heat break right now. Like, the heat snapped, and it's probably going to shoot right back up in, like, a day and a half. But yeah, I highly suggest you go do that, and I highly suggest that you just be good people and reduce your waste and compost. I've been doing a fuck ton of compost. I love you. Bye. This was kind of a long update. Bye. Be good people. Do good things. Be peaceful and live life. Don't stress too hard. Okay. I have to remind myself about that a lot, or else my throat closes up and I break out into hives. So, bye.